It's hot. It's really hot. Hi.
Hi.
God bless you. I walking through a sinful town, and I'm here to bless it. I'm here to bless. But the only sinful part that I'm talking about is that there's trash everywhere and that there's car exhaust fumes in every breath, and that there's spots where the ground is so soaked with like disgusting materials, and it seems to be constant how much there is. That this trek is hard but doable. So I got through a ton of town, and I wanted to see if there was anyone in Subway that was eating, so that I could ask them, can I please have half of a sandwich? I'm hungry. I have 3 granola bars and a 100-calorie cup of yogurt. I'm hungry. So, I went in. No one was in there eating. I could see through the glass, but I was like, okay, well, I had a secondary plan. Well, I just need to drink my whole water bottle and then fill it up. So I got in there, and I took my bag off, set it on the table, and I just sat there and I drank the whole water bottle in one go. It's awesome every time. It makes me feel like I really am made of water. And I asked the person behind the desk, oh no, she said, are you here to get a sandwich? I said, no, I don't have any money, I just came to get water. She was so nice, I could have said, please, can I have half of a sandwich? Or something like that. Or she's so nice. And I said, what's the most important thing that's happened to you in the past 7 days? And she actually had time to think. She said, I don't know, that's a hard question. And then she, I don't know, that's a good question. And she said, it's that my daughter got medically cleared. She's 1 year old. Got medically cleared. And I was inquisitive, inquiring about that. What does that mean? Well, it's because almost the first year of her life, she was having severe breathing problems. And I could only help but feel compassionate and empathetic. And it brought a tear behind my eye. She said there were 3 main times where she was having severe breathing problems. Like it could be a serious risk to her health. And toward the end, I asked, so she's allowed to come home now? And it was also to see if she wasn't allowed to stay at home. And it was true. She said, yeah, she's allowed to come home now and be with us. And she said, well, I'm the only one working in the household right now. And it's really difficult because I want to spend more time with her. And I'm thinking, that's the truth. The Spirit rejoices in truth. The kid would rejoice so much if the kid had more of their mother. And I'm so happy that the kid survived. I think it was a girl. I'm so happy that the kid survived. I thought about it. And I said, that's great news. That's great news. She gets to be home. And I was really happy about that outcome. But it's just teaching about death and probability of life expectancy. The odds of existence are slim. The odds of living past 90 are hard. The chances of dying before you reach old age are high. All odds are are, and will continue to be stacked against us. But existence is suffering. And we not only have to suffer because we exist, but we have the reward and the gift of existence. Whether we had free will over that, it depends on which metric you're looking at free will from. And in most metrics, the answer would be no, we did not have free will to exist. But in most metrics, we have free will to choose what we do with our life. But in some metrics, we don't have free will to change where our spawn point was, what additions and attachments we got, our main relationships, where our time was spent, and what advantages and buffs that we spawned with. But ones that we can mention that are very rewarding and such a gift is we spawned with technology. In this age, we spawned with technology. That's awesome. We spawned with education. Combine those together, you've got an awesome life. You've got an awesome life with a lot of advantage to it, a lot of gift and reward in it. And that's the gift and reward of existence. Now, some things are better played as games. In some situations, playing life like a game is a better example, it's a better approach. For the strategy that goes and comes through the mind to make the game play rewarding, gifting, or virtuously. Just playing it like a game itself, alone, can introduce so many new mechanics that it makes it easier to play as a game. But one thing about life is if you're not getting paid to play, you haven't figured out the extra rules about life yet. You should always get paid to play. Paid to play. always get paid to play. Some people have such a divorce between their work life and their normal life. A divorce. Think about the consequences of it being a divorce type style or any nearness or closeness to divorce style relationship. Well, this could endlessly be bad. So we should appreciate that existence is suffering, that it's full of gift and reward, and we should play it like a game in certain situations. And we should always figure out the best way to get paid to play. We should be able. And it's possible. Now, if we want to escape existence as suffering as a game, let me think of a rule set. Let me see. All right. So we're gonna play the game here in about 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm not gonna tell you everything about the game before the game begins. But if you pick wisely when the game begins, you will have a better outcome today than you would have had. Hidden reward, if you will. So the game. There's two choices. On the left and on the right. You can either snap out of it, or you can keep doing exactly what you're doing and continue to keep doing it. And we're gonna play the game one more time. You can snap out of it, or you can continue doing exactly what it is that you're doing and not follow the advice, the greater advice that's in your mind, the greater advice that's technically cheering you on from one perspective. I could be exercising more, or I could have a better diet, I could have meditation, I could have ceaseless prayer, I could have devotion, I could have honesty of heart and charity of heart, faithfulness, every virtue that I want, I could have skill, I could work for a car, but Jesus is important too. From a perspective, if you can get the mind working properly too, you can get it working from that perspective. But it's extremely difficult, and you have to have faith that it's possible and knowledge that it's possible. And you have to work or figure it out. So we'll play the game one more time. Snap out of it, or keep doing exactly what it is that you're doing. What's the dramatic outcome of picking one option or the other, Isaac? Well, see, I'll discuss that. I'll discuss that with you. I have someone behind me. How fast are they going? Faster than me. Then we'll do this. No! No! What's the major outcome of picking one or the other? Well, if you choose snap out of it, then you have a chance to become awake or become enlightened or other terms It means to not be part of the Institute of the Blind anymore. And if you continue to do exactly what you're doing, it could be, I'm going to keep playing video games for 8 hours a day, not exercising and eating bad, never having learned about meditation or prayer, barely praying, not even trying to grow my faith in Jesus, in my relationship with Him, or any of the parts of God, or any of the devotions to God, or any of the prayers to God, or any of the works of God. So there's subtle consequence to just how hard you snap out of it. So it's good to create an unstoppable force. I'm going to go nail a wooden cross up and then donate all my clothes and food to charity. And then I'm going to pick up ceaseless prayer. And that is a perfect way to snap out of it. So, tooltips about enlightenment. Well, you can get enlightened through Jesus. You can get enlightened from the gifts that He brings to the table. You can get enlightened through study of Him. Any of these methods, any that you could think of, you get enlightened through Jesus. Now there are alternative methods to enlightenment. It's been reported by some that it takes 2 hours and 30 minutes of meditation to become enlightened. And that has some relative truth to it. Because what does enlightenment mean? Well, it could mean to get the mind working again. Or it could mean to get the soul working again. It could. Wow. Tough luck. Well, the cap is broken. Someone gave this to me generously. Someone gave this to me generously. So for example, if I said the mind, the cap is broken, someone gave this to me generously. It explores, let alone explores impermanence, desire, the root of suffering, and bliss in the same sentence. In the same talk. If you want to cease to suffer, it's possible. I would say that one mechanic is you can brute force your way through the technical lock and fix the problem. You can brute force your way through the lock to fix the technical problem. Like, whenever, the cap is broken, how there's just a hint of suffering in that phrase itself. So that problem explores where suffering is. At the bottom of a thought. And if all your friends were stuck in the bottom of the well, wouldn't you go down and fix it? An impossible escape scenario is when you have two desires at the exact same momentary time that contradict each other. Like, I desire to be walking, and I don't desire to have my foot hurting right now, but I'm going to continue to be upset about it and let the ego be eternally upset about it. And that's another way to escape suffering, become awake or become enlightened. Because what would be the way to fix it? Oh, well then I have to suit with a combination of desires that actually works. Well then I submit to my foot, and I will enjoy the pain eventually, or right away. And I will enjoy the walk too, so that my two competitive desires win. If I have two contradictory desires, I will never cease to remove suffering as a real thing. If I wanted to find a root problem of suffering in my mind, why am I suffering? I look deeply into the mind and I go, I'm suffering from thinking, I'm suffering from people, I'm suffering from the things that are done to me and from the things that I do to myself. You have four desires that are stacked against each other. How would you become awake, enlightened, or escape suffering? You would have to rework the desire system, the one that works. I love that other people are making me suffer. And I'm okay with the fact that my works are okay, at least. And what were the other two things I said? To become awake out of a desire situation, to awaken out of a desire situation is to awaken. I don't like that people are treating me this way at work. And I don't even like that I get angry at them. And I don't like that I raise my voice at them. And whenever I go home, I'm not having a good time. And whenever I take the shower, I can just stop thinking about everything. To brute force your way through the walk would be to say, I'm going to desire to be angry to these people with no self-contradiction or desire contradictions. I'm going to be angry about these people mistreating me at work constantly, and I'm going to desire to do it. Or because we're facing a different desire problem that's stacked and hidden right behind it. Don't we not want to be angry? And don't we not want it to be mistreated at work? Well, we're going to have to settle for a desire situation to awaken. We're going to have to settle for any of the free combinations that are hidden. Okay, then when someone makes me angry, I'm not even going to open my mouth, and I'm going to walk out of the room, and I'm going to say, good job, Isaac, good job, me. I'm going to have an extra cup of coffee later and fix that desire problem in double ways. I'm going to doubly fix this. How am I going to fix the people mistreating me at work? Very complex problem. Well, I'm never going to take the approach to fix it by talking through people, because that is a desire problem that cannot be fixed and will never be fixed. So it's good to awaken in that way too. People aren't real. I cannot affect people that strongly, and my efforts will go so far in vain. So I would have to let go. And figure out what part I would desire about it. I'm gonna desire talking to whenever they're bullying me, I'm gonna desire to show myself a little bit of self-love and say, Isaac, it's okay. I love you. Everything's okay. And the feeling of anger, eventually just die to it and go, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy this feeling of anger because I'm letting it pass away, and I'm not even gonna respond to this person. And then you can stack even more desire on it. I'm going to listen to the sound of their voice and become to enjoy just the audio that comes out. Not necessarily what they say. I'm just going to switch to what I want, because I have to awaken out of this problem. I'm not going to do anything to fix the problem of the other person, because that desire system is extremely complicated and mostly impossible. And then you say, and whenever I go home and I get to take a shower, I get to just completely let go of everything. I get to let go of all those thoughts. Well, now you have a double reward, a triple reward. I'm going to listen to the sound of their voice and enjoy it, regardless of how much suffering it appeared to be. I'm going to feel that angry feeling and enjoy it. There's a bullet ant on my... It's not a bullet. It was an army ant. Dude, why did it crawl? Anyway, I was just letting it do that. But, anyway. So, now you get to reward yourself in that many ways. There's another one, anyway. Okay. I get an extra cup of coffee. I get to enjoy the anger. I get to enjoy being quiet. I get to enjoy self-pampering because I'm trying to awaken. I get to enjoy that shower later and not think about anything. So right here, for example, the ant was on my... Every part about that was desirable from multiple perspectives. Now, which one I choose is the one that I get to... There's another one I get to enjoy. I get to feel 3 ants running across me. I get to that exciting and fearsome feeling that something really bad is happening because it's on my... And then I got to fall out of the perspective, oh, and I'm still sitting under this bliss tree giving a bliss conversation on my bliss phone. And I could have picked anything, any desire system that would work to awaken or become enlightened. But don't be afraid to pick up your holy cross with an unstoppable force. A desirable unstoppable force. Jesus, I entrust these souls to the Blessed Virgin Mary, a very powerful intercessor and someone who's very watchful, kind, and protects her children and gives them almost anything that they ask of her, if they ask of her. And God solemnly bless everyone who is listening. Amen.